Honorable Men Discord, Erica Banks, One Night Only stage tour. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let's talk about this. Erica Banks, who's a female rapper, who honestly, I didn't know anything about her until I came up on this interesting choice of a tour. Okay, now I through research I saw she was linked to Finesse 2 Times. I guess that was her ex-boyfriend. But apparently she's a rap artist. I don't know if rap was working out for her, but it was said that she was a stripper first and she became a rapper, and I guess she's going back to stripping because rapping is not working out. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe she's still rapping and maybe she's just finding ways to, I guess, get the best of both worlds in her eyes. But when I saw this, I was like, what is going on? Because I get it, it's rough out there, but I don't know. I just look at it from different perspectives. Obviously, the perspective I'm looking at it from at this point in time is because as a father, I say to myself, God forbid my daughter was doing something like this. You want to rap? Fine, rap. Be creative, rap. Stripping? Absolutely not. And I'm speaking as a father. I'm not as a father. All right? As a father, I wouldn't want to see my daughter stripping. But here's the thing about it that caught my eye, and I thought about this, right? Take a look at the flyer that is beside me, right? So it says private dances starting at $1,000, right? So I'm saying to myself, she's doing her rendition of what Chris Brown started. See, Chris Brown, if I'm not mistaken, and you could correct me in the comments, I felt like he opened up the floodgates for things like this when he started doing the after the concert, I think the post-concert photos. And I'm not even sure if that was after the concerts or that was a separate day. In any event, Chris Brown opened up the door for opportunities to make side money, which the actual idea of making side money outside of just the revenue you make for performing and merch, there's nothing wrong with that. Now this is just one of those things where, in my opinion, I think she should either choose one. Are you rapping or are you stripping? Because this comes across as desperate. So this, to me, and although it's my opinion, I'm welcome to everyone's welcome to discuss this in the comments. I just feel like this is killing her potential rap career because it's like you have one foot still in the strip club, or I should say one whole leg still in the strip club, and then another leg is in a rap career. If you're stripping and doing a tour, and you can see the tour is already it's up and running. You see, June 1st she was in Miami, June 4th Houston, Texas, June 5th Atlanta, Georgia, Dallas on the 6th, Houston on the 7th, and she's gonna end on the 14th in St. Louis. Listen, you do something like this and you just never going to be taken seriously as a rap artist. And I don't even know how good she is. By all means, jump in the comments, let me know if she's actually a good rapper. I've never heard her music. I'll be honest with you, more than ever before. And I've been following hip hop for a long time, and this is the most female rappers I've ever seen in my life. Literally. I've never seen this much, and I think that's a good thing, I guess. Why not? It's the opportunity for everyone to make money. Between the female rap artists, the female rap battle MCs, I've never seen anything like this. So I've never heard of this woman. There's just too many girls to follow, and I actually don't follow not just the females. I barely get opportunities to follow the males, because there's just too many names out there. But in any event, so this is what she's up to, right? So I came across this on X, and apparently she was at a high school and she started to twerk. So let me just play this video and we're gonna speak about it further. All right, now I'm just gonna pause this and bring it back. So what I can tell from this video, let me go back a little bit. It seems like it's one moment. It seems to be freezing. But what I can tell from the band in the background, it seems as though there was a radio station that was there, and she may have been the guest along with the radio station at that high school. But from this video alone, I'm looking at it like, why are you twerking at a high school? You know, everyone's welcome to jump in the comments and disagree with me. As always, keep it respectful. But twerking at a high school, she, I believe, is in her 30s. All right? And let me just confirm that real quick. All right? Let me see how old she is. All right. She's almost in her 30s. She's 26 years old, right? That doesn't make it right, though. You're in a high school twerking. And now she didn't have anybody, she didn't have anyone behind her while she was twerking. You see the guy with the black hat and the black t-shirt, he was some sort of security, making sure there was a little bit of distance between her and the boys. But that's not something you need at a high school. First of all, this is the buffoonery, unfortunately, that some of us take part in. It's one thing to be an adult and say, listen, I want to go on a strip tour and make $1,000 per lap dance, right? You're an adult, you can do what you want. Doesn't matter what I think about it. You can do what you want, all right? It's evident in 2025, people are going to do what they want, right? So I'm not here to say, oh, she shouldn't go on tour. She's going to do what she wants to do. I'm saying I wouldn't want my daughter doing something like that. That's what I'm saying. But aside from that, please explain to me how it seems like it's a predominantly black high school. I don't know the name of the high school. If anyone knows the name of the high school, please let me know in the comments. How is the high school allowing her to be there and twerk? Maybe the high school didn't know she was going to do that. So in the high school's defense, I'll just assume they just thought she was going to show up, do a little rap song, and that was that. But if you look at her stuff, right? Let's pull up her Instagram again, right? If you look at her Instagram, right, and you see the material that she has, you know the type of artist she is. So again, who's in charge of these high schools aside from the principal? Who's okaying an artist like her to come to the high school and perform? So it's not so much, I tried to give the high school the benefit of the doubt, but my thing is, how do you not know an artist like her is going to at some point maybe twerk? Now, she did show up with pants on. She was wearing the fatigue pants, right? But bad decision. What are you teaching the boys? What are you teaching the girls that were at that event? All I see is boys right there, and they look like they're losing their mind, right? How the parents must have felt to see her twerking and the boys losing their mind. I mean, am I the only one that sees this as a little bit insane? But again, it's 2025. A lot of things have become norm. It's become commonplace to the point where some may look at it as like, oh, I don't see any big deal. She's an artist. She was just having fun. She had pants on. It wasn't like she was exposing herself in a high school. So some may disagree with me in thinking that was a bad choice to twerk at a high school, But I just think this stuff is a little bit absurd. But in any event, I have two things queued up on people speaking on their thoughts on her whole tour with the $1,000 lap dances. So let's get into that.
So Erica Banks' career has finally officially flopped. This bitch is going on a strip tour. Did Jocelyn tell your ass not to go back to the strip club? Bitch, you are a rapper. Well, you thought you were. This hoe going to 4 strip clubs talking about she going on a strip tour. Can we holler recession indicator? Erica, this is not something that you need to do. Get you a better management team. Why are you going on a strip tour? Damn, the rap industry dissed you that bad? It ain't nothing else you can do? Bitch, go get on Baddies or something. Not the damn strip tour. She gonna be at Club 24 in Miami, Florida, June the 1st. Magic City, June the 5th. DG's in Dallas on June 6th. Then she gonna wrap it up at Area 29 in Houston on June the 7th. She offered private dances starting at 1K. So y'all go throw her a little $1,000 to get y'all a little private lap dance. So Eric.
So let's get into the next one.
This just goes to show how music is not making people no more money. This girl went from a stripper to having a hit record to back to a fucking stripper, bro. And I ain't even gonna hate. She about to make a lot of fucking money. She going to the most popping clubs in these cities. So just say she charging $1,000 for a fucking private dance. And first of all, y'all hoes don't be scared of getting fucking abducted and shit. But if she started charging $1,000 per private dance, right? Just say she get 10 a night. That's already 10,000. Regular girls at these clubs make 10 to 15,000 a night. So she gonna get, man, I'm talking about this $30,000, $40,000 a night easy. And then in 6 nights, bro, she can make $250,000 in 6 fucking days for niggas just being horny. This is.
All right, I disagree with him, and here's why. If she closes down those spots and it's just her, the venue is just for her, maybe she might pull that off. First of all, the whole tour is not just about the lap dances. That's something extra. I think she's performing. First of all, I've never heard of her. Doesn't mean that she's not popular, but I've never heard of her. All right, she's not Glorilla. And if she's up there with Glorilla, please let me know in the comments. Again, there's too many female rap artists for me to keep up with. But here's why I don't think it's going to be as successful as he thinks it's going to be. If the venue she's going to is not exclusively her for the night, she's going to run into issues, because if there's other women performing lap dances at a fraction of that price, why would the men want to spend $1,000 for a lap dance? Men, I mean, there are some men that probably will spend the money if they're fans, or if they just want to be able to say, oh, I got a lap dance from this woman. But men, I'd like to think that we make better decisions. We deal with logic. So I'm going to look at it like, okay, first of all, how long is the lap dance? Right? But even before I get to how long is the lap dance, it's a lap dance. It's $1,000 for a lap dance. There's not a woman on this earth that I would give $1,000 to for a lap dance. All right? And that's just me. So I can only imagine. I mean, then again, it's 2025. I don't know what some men are thinking these days. She's putting it out there because obviously she got feedback. I'm assuming she got feedback, and there's guys that are willing to go out on those particular nights and spend $1,000 for a lap dance. But again, if she's not the only person that's performing that night, and there's other options for maybe more beautiful women for a fraction of that, explain to me how she's getting $1,000 for the lap dance. I don't really think it's going to work. And if it turns out to work, then I don't know what to say. I mean, it's good for her, but it just goes to show society is continuing to spiral in a bad trajectory, because if this works, I can only imagine how many other women are going to do this. How many other rappers are going to do this? You know, she's going to be the one to set it off, much like Chris Brown for the female rappers. How many other female rappers might entertain something like this? All right? And if you think about it, Janet Jackson did something like this. Not quite like this, but Janet Jackson used to on stage bring people up and do like a little dance. I don't know if it was a lap dance. I can't really recall. But Janet Jackson did something like this. Obviously, Janet Jackson wasn't charging people to be part of her entire show. But Janet Jackson did things like this. But this is taking it to like another level. This is just, I don't know what to think about this. I'm really interested in hearing what everyone thinks about this. Again, my thought on this is she's grown, she's gonna do what she wants to do, so be it. But as far as her having a rap career and doing things like this, she needs to really choose. I think this affects the rap career, and you won't be taken serious when you're doing things like this. It puts a stain on your brand, because that's what you have to think about as an artist, your brand. What are you saying your brand is when you're doing a one night only stage tour where your lap dances are $1,000? What are you saying to your brand? What is your brand? Are you just a bona fide stripper that makes music? Is that your brand? Maybe that's a brand. I don't know. I don't follow her music. I just think it's just a bad look overall. And as far as the high school thing, I'm completely against that. I don't know how the school allowed that to happen, but this is not the first time schools have done questionable things. But again, this is a portion of our community, and things like this happen, and some of us might overlook it like, oh, let her live, you know? But this is a portion of our community that gets highlighted, it becomes viral, and unfortunately for us within the black community, the rest of the world starts to think this is the norm for us. This is how we conduct ourselves. They don't take us serious for reasons like this. They don't take, and I find issue with that, because there's times when I want to be more than not, there's times when I'm looking for that respect, and I don't get that respect because of not what she's doing, because she's a female, but things that young black males are doing. So that's how I take issue with this. But again, this is something to think about. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing some comments in the comment section, and that's all I have to say to this. I think, as always, we need to make better decisions. We're smarter than this, and we're more talented than this. This is an act of desperation. I'm sure she has talent. I don't know what that talent is, but I'm sure she has talent. And if she doesn't have talent, I'm sure she's smarter than this. This is one of those things that, years later, after you make your little $1,000, whatever she makes from this run, she's going to look back at it and be embarrassed by it. And if she's not, then I don't know what to say about that. But that's all I have on this. As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.